They come from all across the world, from many different lands. The brave from Britain, the confident from America, the determined from Japan, and anyone else, anywhere else, who wants to step up to the challenge. 100 challengers compete across a 4-stage obstacle course devised by the devil. Success means glory. Failure means humiliation. It truly is win or die. Many have tried. Very few have succeeded. But they all have one goal: to become the next champion. This is Ninja Warrior of Halo! Hello guys, I'm Hunt Unit 751, and welcome back to Ninja Warrior of Halo. Today marks the beginning of Tournament 22 in this course's history. Once again, 100 challengers have arrived to take on the 4-stage obstacle course, where each stage brings with it a new challenge for our competitors. In Stage 1, all 100 challengers will face 9 obstacles that will test their general jumping ability. The survivors on Stage 2 will have their speed and skill put to the test across 6 quick-fire obstacles. The elite that make it to Stage 3 will then face arguably the toughest obstacles on the course. And if anyone is still standing after all that, they face the ultimate challenge, a race to the top of the tower in the final stage. In the last tournament, 100 challengers stepped up once again, and we saw a sweet 16 survive the first stage. There was plenty of new blood moving on, as 6 of the 16 survivors defeated the first stage for their first time ever, and then 4 of the 7 that made it past Stage 2 also defeated that stage for their first time. But the biggest twist of them all came on the 3rd stage. Not only did we get our first ever clear on Stage 3 on the Xbox One, but we ended up having a record 3 competitors reach the final stage. Rog, Strafe, and Smokey were the heroes in Tournament 21, but unfortunately, each of them was defeated by the final stage in a different way. Strafe discovered just how tough the new final stage was, falling at the halfway point. Our reigning champion Smokey found himself out of time on his climb, whilst the Spartan Sasuke host Rog came up just 2 jumps short of reaching the top of the tower. That performance, though, was enough to see Rog finish in first place. Our 3 finalists are all back today, and they are amongst a record group of returning competitors. In fact, this is the first time since Tournament 9 that we've had more returning competitors than newcomers. The reason for so many returnees is that with this tournament taking place in April 2020, it marks the landmark 10-year anniversary since the first ever tournament that took place on Halo 3. Since then, we've gone through 5 different Halo games and had 1,500 attempts on the course. Now, we have reached yet another huge milestone.
It's crazy to believe this course has been around for 10 years. You know, it's such a storied history, and coming into what could potentially be the final Halo 5 tournament, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's in store for this tournament.
It feels good that this course has lasted so long. I mean, 10 years is a long time. I feel pretty good to be able to compete on this one. Yeah, I've been here pretty much the whole 10-year span, so it's definitely kind of weird to be like on a Halo 5 minigame or just a Halo minigame in general, and be like so dedicated and just have like a group of jumpers that are so dedicated nowadays. I'm looking forward to my run. Hopefully I don't fail Stage 1 or something, but yeah, I think it'll be a good tournament.
Yeah, a strange British man told me this was the 10th anniversary, which seems like a little bit too long to be doing jumping tournaments, but here we all are, ready to have a good time. Hopefully I don't break my leg in half again on the warped wall.
Exciting. Absolute history has happened on this course, and I absolutely love everything about Halo Ninja Warrior. And overall, it's just Ninja Warrior of Halo. so many different variations on YouTube. It's crazy to keep up, but overall, lovely course. I love running it. I love doing it every time. Just good to be back. Yeah.
It's like the longest running jumping course is always super cool to be a part of it, and it's amazing to see it evolve and see everybody turn out still. And it's going to be an exciting tournament. I think our last tournament ended. Everyone's on a really high note, and everyone thinks that they could all get to the victory. And I think that a total victory will happen this tournament.
This thing's been going for 10 years.
Man, this is awesome. 10 years of Ninja Warrior of Halo. And I've been a part of a decent chunk of it. But to be here now and to be in the 22nd tournament, I'm just super excited. It's always fun whenever a new tournament's going on. This year, 2020, has been pretty crazy. And I'm excited to have something positive to look forward to. So definitely can't wait to see how this tournament unfolds. There's a lot of new obstacles, a lot of changes. And I'm excited for it.
Despite reaching the 10-year anniversary, this tournament begins with the world in chaos. The global pandemic has affected everybody, and those stepping up for this tournament will hope it is a welcome distraction that brings plenty of optimism and joy. But for every dark cloud, there is also a silver lining. Plenty of well-known names have now started hosting their own courses, meaning the variety of competitions for our competitors is greater than ever before in the history of Halo jumping. But all of those guys will not be worrying about hosting right now. Instead, their focus will be on defeating the first stage. Stage 1 has had a major overhaul since the last tournament, starting right from the beginning with the sextuple steps back for the first time since Tournament 19. They then move on to the first of 2 new obstacles, the circle hammer, with the ball drop now modified to be more difficult and moved to the 3rd obstacle. The jumping spider has also been modified with the run-up changed, but the jump into the spider has been made slightly easier. Then it is the half-pipe attack, which is the only obstacle on stage 1 that remains exactly the same as it was in the last tournament. That then leads on to the warped wall in a new position and has also been made slightly easier. And then the second of our new obstacles, the slider jump. Our competitors have to launch themselves up into the head slide and then throw themselves onto the net where they have to go over or under. After that, it's a drop onto the Tarzan rope now, into the rope ladder to complete stage 1. The time limit has been bumped back up to 130 seconds, and along with all the changes made, our competitors also face the threat of the weather. Heavy rain hit the course the day before this tournament began, and although the rain has now stopped, clouds still surround the course and the obstacles are slipping. Who will have what it takes to overcome all of these challenges? Let's head to the start line of stage 1 to find out.
Feeling pretty good. Just as confident as my first time, I suppose. Hoping for another successful run at it. 20 appearances on the same course just feels so unique, extraordinary. It's just cool. It's a cool accolade to say I have achieved.
Kicking off Tournament 22 is the All-Star Could Be Better, or Phil. Phil makes history today as he becomes the first ever competitor to reach 20 appearances on this course. He made his debut back in Tournament 2, the first Halo Reach tournament and the first tournament where this was an official course. He then missed Tournament 3 but came back for Tournament 4 and has never missed a tournament since. In fact, his 19 consecutive appearances is another record that Phil holds on this course. In 19 previous attempts, he has cleared stage 1 8 times, but that does not tell the full story of his career. Of his 11 stage 1 failures, 5 of those came on the last obstacle. This included 3 in a row from tournaments 12 through to 14, but he managed to bounce back in the perfect way. In tournaments 15 and 16, both occasions he made it to the 3rd stage, and both times he ended up producing personal best results. After reaching the jumping bars in Tournament 16, his career so far on the Xbox One has not gone according to plan. He has failed Stage 1 in 5 straight tournaments, which includes back-to-back fails on the flying chute. In Tournament 20, he was able to defeat the flying chute and finish the first stage, but he ran out of time on the rope ladder, and a wait to return to Stage 2 continued. In the last tournament, he went in feeling underprepared, and it showed. He failed the halfpipe attack for the second time in his career, with the first failure coming in Tournament 19. Despite all these failures, Phil has shown on this course back in the past and on other courses on Halo 5 that he does still have the ability to succeed. The question is, will Phil be able to produce the comeback that he wants on this, his landmark 20th appearance? Or will his streak of Stage 1 struggles continue? Phil, what a legendary moment for this legendary competitor. The first man ever to reach 20 appearances on this course. The nearest thing we have to a Shingo Yamamoto on Niwa. The crowd watching on. Weapon Matt, who seemingly retired from the last tournament, has shown up to support Phil, alongside Alpha Puma and newcomer Joey Davis, who we'll see later on. But this is all about Phil. He is off for his 20th time on Stage 1. It is crazy to think, you know, I said in the profile, 19 consecutive appearances. The only tournament he's ever missed was Tournament 3. And actually, the funny story about that one is he turned up for Tournament 4, thinking it was Tournament 3. I told him, no, this is Tournament 4, you've missed it. And yeah, didn't let him do like a late run for Tournament 3. And as a result, that's the only tournament he's ever missed, because he didn't know which tournament he was competing in, which I guess is kind of funny. But Phil is making light work of these first few obstacles, going straight for the jumping spider and into it. You can already tell he looks super confident with how fast he's going. He put a lot more practice in for this tournament than he did in the last tournament. But now for the halfpipe attack. This is where he failed in the last tournament, but he gets it this time.
Nice job, Phil.
Confidence.
Phil is putting on a dominating performance so far. He's up the wart wall in one. He's got just under a minute to go. He is destroying the course right now as he goes for the slider jump. No! Phil! What have you done? Phil is disqualified. He is out on the slider jump. How has he screwed this up? Phil, he was looking so dominant on the whole course. He crushed the first 6 obstacles. But here on the slider jump, you cannot go down the middle. You have to go down one of the 2 split sides. If you go down the middle, you'll get launched up into the air and you will be disqualified. And just like that, he is out.
Indecisive.
Oh! Would that have counted for something?
Yeah, would that have counted?
Phil, that is absolutely gut-wrenching. He snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. It really looked like this was going to be the tournament he was on his way back to Stage 2. But instead, he suffers his 6th Stage 1 failure in a row. What a gut-wrenching start to the tournament. We almost had the perfect start with a clear at number 1, but now we can move on to contestant number 2, Kasud, our first newcomer of the tournament. It almost feels kind of weird, actually. You know, normally we have some newcomer at number 1 who usually puts on a pretty average performance, probably failing the first obstacle. But instead, you know, we had that great run by Phil just now. It almost feels like, you know, the tournament starts now at contestant 2. But Kasud is through the first obstacle, and he's going too fast through the circle hammer, and he crashes out the other side of it. That is the key factor with that obstacle. You cannot go too fast. And Kasud, the HBL player, is out. Now we can move on, and it is time for Future Carton 732 to take on the course. Another newcomer, How will he fare? 130 seconds, and he's off and out on the sextuple steps. That was bound to happen very early on at some point. First man to fail the first step. Contestant number 4, Ghost Friend, another newcomer. Let's see how he fares. 130 seconds, can he beat the first jump? Ooh, only just, but yes, he did do it. Can he beat the rest of the obstacle? Making his way through, taking his time a little bit more than Kasud did. I keep always... Is it Kasud or is it cursed? I don't actually know. I kind of just say both. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, because Kasud's already dead. And Ghost Friend's dead. Ghost Friend's dead with him. He also crashes out the far end of the circle hammer. He almost slowed himself down enough, but not quite. Now we're already, just like that, on to contestant number 5. It's Drew TV, our first regular of the tournament. This is his 3rd appearance. In the last tournament, he went out on the ball drop. Almost made it to the end, but just fell off after that second drop. As he goes for the sextuple steps, lands very low on that first step, but immediately shoots for the second step. Now he's moving, not the fastest, but reasonably smooth through the first obstacle. He failed the first obstacle on his debut, then went out on the second obstacle, but the ball drop is now the 3rd obstacle. So can he get to it and defeat the circle hammer? He's going all the way around the outside. He's hanging on the edge, but he is surviving. This is not the trickiest obstacle in the world. It is mainly a time waster, but there is that fail factor if you go too fast and you shoot out of the head slide. But Drew has done it. Now, can he get revenge on the ball drop? Pushes the ball to get it rolling. Is he going to go for a full send technique? He's waiting. Drew, this isn't going to work. Drew, no, he's out. Drew is defeated. That technique will not work anymore. Let's take a look in the last tournament. We saw a few different competitors pull off the full send technique in the last tournament, but the obstacle has been redesigned for this tournament and the dismount has been pushed further away, as well as being now an angled landing platform, which means that technique will not work. Well, following Drew's failure, more newcomers stepped up to the course, but could not deliver a performance, including Gamers Pro, who proved that he certainly wasn't a pro on this course, failing the sextuple steps, but he did better than Tink J. Carter, who also failed the first jump. DK Danny did the same thing as Kursud and Ghost Friend, just too fast through the circle hammer. Retro, lots of numbers, failed the first jump. Jill the Great was not great on the sextuple steps. Thanos decided to take a break from collecting Infinity Stones to fail the circle hammer. And then Batu Cesar failed the second obstacle. So not very good, really. After a great start with Phil's run, almost everyone else has gone out on one of the first 2 obstacles. But now we can move on to one of our star performers in the last tournament. Looking to pick up where he left off is the new veteran, Bananarama. He is today making his 5th appearance on the course, having competed in every Halo 5 tournament so far. His debut performance in Tournament 18 was nothing spectacular, going out on the jumping spider, but what followed after that really put eyes on him. On his 2nd appearance in Tournament 19, he made it all the way to the final obstacle of Stage 1 before running out of time. He didn't know it then, but that performance was good enough to see him finish in 4th place. Out of the 97 competitors that failed Stage 1 in Tournament 19, he got the closest of any of them to advancing to Stage 2. That brought with it expectations that he could get his first Stage 1 clear in Tournament 20. Unfortunately, he fell just short once again. But in Tournament 21, he was able to live up to the pressure. Not only did he have the speed and the composure to finally bag his first Stage 1 clear, he then showed that he had the tenacity to perform under pressure on Stage 2. Despite having many struggles with the salmon ladder, he persevered and then picked up the pace just enough to finish the second stage within the time limit, advancing as one of 7 competitors to the third stage. Unfortunately, that is where the dream came to an end. He exited the earliest out of all of them, going out on the second obstacle, the globe grasp. Now he is back today, looking to make it to the second stage for a second time. Bananarama. Without doubt, one of the stars from the last tournament, one of the surprise successes. But can he prove his performance in the last tournament was no fluke? He starts his first appearance as a veteran. He's quite low in the run order, only number 13, having got all the way to stage 3 in the last tournament. But the reason for that is he requested this number and wants to prove, as I say, that his performance in the last tournament was no fluke. As he moves nicely through the circle hammer, takes a little shortcut out of there. That's going to save him a bit of time. But yeah, with him being so low in the run order, this guy definitely has the potential to be the first stage 1 clear of the tournament. Moving nicely through the ball drop, takes a save jump, and is through. He's a man who perfects his techniques. We've seen that so far on his previous appearances. He jumped a little early there for the spider off the trampoline, but he made it work and is moving smoothly through. On to the half pipe attack. He goes right for this. Can he get it just like Phil did? Yes, he can. Uses the bouncer to slow himself down. And the dismount, yes. Now moving up towards the warped wall. Not as fast as Phil, but still doing pretty well on time. Misses the wall on the first attempt though. And the second. This obstacle's caused him problems in the past. He almost gets it on the third attempt. Come on, Banana, you need to think about getting up this wall now. You're starting to run out of time. You need to get up the wall on this attempt. He's up it. He's got 28 seconds left. He must hurry. It might still not be enough time as he goes for the slider jump. He's missed it. Bananarama is out on the slider jump. Our stage 3 finalist from the last tournament is defeated by stage 1 this time around. He went down the slider, but he was too far to the left, missed that column. At least he attempted the obstacle the way you're supposed to attempt it, unlike Phil. But that is the way, well, that is the most common way to fail that obstacle. And Bananarama, the success story from the last tournament, is a shock early exit in this tournament. 2 big-time competitors out on stage 1, both on the slider jump. But now we can move on to Sterling 139, another newcomer. Let's see if he can produce a spectacular performance. Well, it's spectacularly short at least. Just goes to show that even if you full send the first step, it does not guarantee your safety. But now we can move on to the first of our new course hosts.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another tournament of Ninjas of Halo. But first he has to get there as he's going through the stage quickly and he's out on the jump hang! What on earth? I was not expecting that. Look at this! Smokey just gets a bad jump on the jump hang. He jumps a bit too early. He's got it into the flying chute. This is the ninja killer so far. He gets a good jump, but he doesn't get a save! Chumpy is out on the flying chute!
There we saw Ninjas of Halo, produced by Sonic Fan. Although technically not one of the pandemic courses that started up, you know, after everything that's happened in 2020. Sonic did actually start his course up in 2019, so, you know, he's a pre-pandemic course, but even so, one of the new generation of competitors that have started up their own courses. But Sonic's not focused on that right now. He's here looking to build on his first appearance that he made in the last tournament. Back today for his second appearance as he also takes the shortcut. Now, he failed on the third obstacle on his debut in the last tournament, but that was the swinging pipes. There are no more swinging pipes, and he beat the ball drop last time out. Oh no, Sonic! No, he goes out on the third obstacle again. But this time it's the ball drop. He just got a little bit out of control. Tried to save it, but couldn't. Now we move on to Charlie and Owen. Why is he jiggling around like a crazy man? That's interesting. He had such a desperate attempt at trying to save himself on the swinging pipes in the last tournament. You saw how many save jumps he just got there, but it wasn't enough. Let's see if Charlie can push on in today's tournament. He's coming up to the ball drop where Sonic just failed. Can he defeat this? Control nicely. Takes a save jump as it goes over the second one. He's save jumping all over the place and he falls off the side. Another man down on the ball drop. He was slipping and sliding all over the place there. Maybe the effect of the wet weather. Hey, it's Demigods, another HBL player, back for his second appearance. He had a pretty disastrous debut run in the last tournament, going out on the first obstacle. So let's see if he can beat the first obstacle this time around. Sextuple steps, probably considered a more difficult first obstacle than the rapid climb. But Demi's looking pretty good at the minute, got a smooth rhythm. Not full sending, but he does get through it. Nice job, Demi. Alright, turns out he finally put the ball down, stopped shooting hoops, and started jumping on some courses. Oh, he's going a little fast there. He was going slow, picked up the pace, but did manage to keep himself in it, which I guess is the most important thing. Because, you know, who wants to die on the circle hammer? He also takes the shortcut. Demi's definitely been putting in the practice. Either that or he's watched, like, everyone else that's taken the shortcut so far. He's onto the ball drop. Last two guys have failed this. Demi's all over the place on this ball, but he's hanging on. Oh, come on, Demi, you're almost there. He goes for it, and he gets it. Only the third competitor to beat the ball drop so far in this tournament. And he's onto the jumping spider. Is this the breakout performance we've been waiting for from Demi? Yeah, no. Oh, dear. Well, that's disappointing, Demi, isn't it? Well, following on from that, more competitors stepped up, including Derelicts, who became the first competitor to fail the half-pipe attack in this tournament. And his run, along with Demi's, actually started a chain of performances where several competitors got further into stage one, but still couldn't progress, apart from the Honey Badger, who failed on the sextuple steps. Returning competitor Bubba Ace, the host of Ninja Warrior of Roblox. He got to the warped wall in the last tournament, but sadly took one step back today, failing the half pipe. Reach 0360 was back for his second appearance. He took a step forward. He failed the swinging pipes in the last tournament, this time getting to the jumping spider. Newcomer Lake Kiter managed to get to the half pipe attack like Derelicts did. And then we had Toby. Just Toby, who didn't know what he was doing on the jumping spider and flopped out. Well, as we approach the quarter mark on stage one, we have plenty of big-time jumpers coming up later. Drago, the all-time legend in Halo jumping, is back today. His stage one clear record of 11 clears was tied in the last tournament, and one of the two competitors that tied that record, Elite MKB, is looking to break it and become the first man to reach 12 stage 1 clears in this course's history. We also have Alpha Puma back today, who will be hoping this tournament will be the one where he can make it to the final stage. And speaking of the final stage, all eyes will definitely be on our final three runners on stage 1. Strafe Helix, Rog, and the Grand Champion Smokey Massacre will be the final three runners to go, all hoping that they can get back to the final stage in this tournament. But as I say, that is for the future. For now, we have contestant number 25, Tricky Cyrus. This is his second appearance. As you saw there, he went out on the swinging pipes on his debut. Tricky, I'm not going to lie, actually, I should probably apologize. I kind of made a few jokes about his run in the last tournament, even though he was fast-forwarded. But this guy, hopefully he'll leave a comment down below. If you check out his channel, he's got quite a lot of content of all sorts. You know, he's a massive supporter of Halo jumping and of Ninja in general, and some of his videos he puts up on A&W stuff, especially the A&W content, gets a ton of views. So I gotta give credit where credit's due to Tricky. And he's come a long way as a jumper since his debut in the previous tournament. But can he push on and defeat the third obstacle this time around and set a personal best? We've already seen a few competitors fail to do that, like Sonic, but not Tricky. Nice job by Cyrus. Now, can he crack the jumping spider? He also jumps early, but he still gets into it. Making his way through the inside, picking up the pace. And he's through another obstacle. Time for the half-pipe attack. He is starting to run out of time, though. 45 seconds left on the clock. He goes for it. Oh, Tricky! He just about gets into the head slide, but he falls out when he hits the bouncer. That is so unlucky, Tricky. He almost looked like he'd missed the head slide, then he got it, and then he almost beat it, but he didn't. I think that one can go down as pretty darn unlucky for Tricky. I didn't even see this guy's name. High Tired Ball, I believe it was. Another newcomer. Not at all a reference maybe to another well-known competitor, but he's out on the first obstacle, so it doesn't even matter. This newcomer is beaten, but the next newcomer did know how to beat the sextuple steps. This is Tails Sucks 0904. I'm sure absolute no relation whatsoever to Sonic Fan, who we saw earlier. First we had Sonic, now we've had Tails. Now I'm just waiting for friggin' Knuckles to show up. Maybe Dr. Eggman. Oh god, no, please don't let Amy show up. Please. Anyone who's watched that Sonic Let's Play that I did on my channel knows how much I hate Amy. Please don't let Amy show up. You know, bring back Beth or something, please. Anyone but Amy. But Tails gets through the ball drop. Nice job by him. Does better than Sonic. Now he's teabagging quite a lot as he goes for the jumping spider. Oh god, he only just gets into it. But he is surviving. Making his way through, starting to pick up the pace as he makes his way out the other side. No! He's gone! What? How did he... What just happened? He failed the dismount of the jumping spider. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've ever seen a competitor fail the dismount of the jumping spider before. He just didn't sprint. He was going quickly through the inside of the spider, picked up the pace, and he just didn't sprint when he went for the dismount jump. And the crowd, and the others are disappointed. So disappointed that Tails' fail has started a fight amongst the crowd. That's not good. Someone needs to get security out for that. Now we join another newcomer, Absecco, as he takes on the ball drop. Making his way through it. He's going for the back and forth strategy. A bit like what we saw from Demi. But it looks like he keeps his control and he beats it. He has used up a lot of time though, looking at the clock there. Now for the jumping spider. He's eyeing it up. Okay, for a second then I thought he was going to go for it from the line. I would have been very impressed if he'd made the jump from that far forward, but he does get into it. Can he avoid the mistake that Tails just made? You know, just when you think you've seen every sort of failure on this course, someone finds a new one, as Tails just did. Now he's going for the half-pipe, he's stuttering, he's cautious, and it costs him as the half-pipe attack chews him up and spits him back out. Another man down, and now we can move on to our next competitor, who is another new course host and a man looking for vengeance.
What is up, guys? It's your boy, Ed Planet Champ. Welcome to Tournament 14 of Halo Sasuke. On now to the Lumberjack climb, and he gets a pretty good jump, and Flame overshoots! Oh no! Flame gets it started. It's rolling. No! Matt! No! Matt!
Next up on stage one, we have Atlantic Champ. Atlantic is today making his 6th appearance on the course, and he has his eyes set on one obstacle. Across his 5 previous appearances, he has been defeated by the jumping spider on 3 occasions, including both of the last 2 tournaments. So to get himself prepared for this tournament, Atlantic decided to whisk himself away to his lovely country home out in the woods, where he's had his own personal version of the obstacle built in order to get some well-earned training. The question now is, will that training pay off? And will Atlantic not only be able to defeat this obstacle, but finally break through to get his first Stage 1 clear? Atlantic. His performances have been more chump than champ on this course, but we know just how good a jumper he is. We just have to look. There's a lot of different courses, but I mean, just to pick one out, you just have to look at his performances on Rogues, Spartan, Sasuke to know just how good a competitor this guy is. It really just has been the fine margin so far. The jumping spider, he's not put the work into it, as he goes for the shortcut on the circle hammer, but he has put the hard work in to beat that obstacle today. It's just a case of, can he beat it? And then can he finish the job off the way he couldn't do it in tournaments 18 and 19 when he did get past the jumping spider? He goes for the stopper on the ball drop and saves himself a bit of time. Now the moment of truth, the jumping spider. Can he defeat it this time? Yes, he can. Atlantic. He's not actually beaten the obstacle yet, so let's just give it a few more seconds. And now he's beaten it. Well done, Atlantic. Okay, now for the half-pipe attack. He gets into it nicely, uses the stopper, went right down the middle of the head slide, used the ramp really nicely there. Now for the warped wall. He's used up so many attempts and failed it on one of his attempts in tournament 18, but he gets up it in one here. Now the slider jump. The third man to reach this obstacle. The other 2 have failed it. Can Atlantic do it? He lands it. He lands on the net. He's going to go over the top. He gets over. And Atlantic. Oh my goodness. 35 seconds left. He's got the time. Atlantic. It's been a long time coming. But you know what they say. Good things come to those who wait. And this young man has waited long enough. Atlantic completes Stage 1 for the first time in his career. He gets his first Stage 1 clear on this course. He's had to wait so long. It's taken until his 6th appearance. He ties the record for the longest wait to get a first Stage 1 clear. Duster, Soul, and Takeshi, they all had to wait until their 6th appearance before they got their first Stage 1 clear. But this was the moment right here, the jumping spider. He got into it nicely, he beat it, and to be quite frank, he made every other obstacle look like a piece of cake. He zoomed through the course, he didn't have a single slip up at all. And the slider jump, it took out Phil, it took out Bananarama, but Atlantic became the first competitor to defeat it. And at that point, he probably knew Stage 1 was in the bag. The crowd watching on, Puma and Bubba Ace down there on the spectators platform. They're so happy. Puma knows that feeling of getting your first Stage 1 clear. And up in the mountains is Strafe Helix, another man who just 2 tournaments ago got to celebrate his first Stage 1 clear. But Atlantic, what a moment for him. He can now finally look ahead to Stage 2. Atlantic Champ, for the first time on Ninja Warrior of Halo, has defeated Stage 1. Nice job, Atlantic. Well, after that incredible performance, can our next man replicate it? He is another competitor looking for his first Stage 1 clear. It is Patrilofan 4. This is his 3rd appearance. In the last tournament, he got his revenge on the flying chute that took him out on his debut run, but he then ran out of time, but without even attempting the rope ladder, actually. He failed on the Tarzan jumps. He was the only competitor that beat the flying chute in the last tournament that didn't clear stage 1. The main reason for that was the fact that Petrillo took way too many attempts at the warped wall. That warped wall has caused him a lot of problems on his first 2 appearances. He maybe had a chance of clearing, but he was running out of time in Tournament 20 before failing the flying chute, and then obviously, as we saw there, running out of time. Now Petrillo is looking to put that behind him to get his first stage 1 clear. He saw Atlantic clear. Will that give him confidence? As he's moving through the ball drop nicely and smoothly. Heading for the jumping spider now. He's beaten this on his previous 2 appearances, and he gets into it nicely here. No problems with the jump. As I say, that jump has been made a little bit easier for this tournament. The crowd Puma's back again for another run alongside Snaz. Now going for the half-pipe attack. A short run up, a late jump, but still into the head slide. Look at the clock though, 50 seconds left. Petrillo has not been going at the fastest pace that, well, certainly not as fast as he was going in the last tournament. Now he hits the warped wall. Can he get up this? Not on the first attempt, he was close though. Nor the second, Petrillo, you gotta get up this wall. Petrillo, no! You got to beat this wall. What is going on with Petrillo and the warped wall? It's happened again. It's happening again. Petrillo, he's panicking now. He's taking short run-ups at the warped wall. He's not getting it. He does get it now, but look at the clock, 10 seconds. The klaxon sounds. Petrillo is beaten again by time, by the warped wall. Can he crack the slider jump? He goes low, he gets a safe jump, and he's out of time and fails at the same time. Double fail. Petrillo, 3 appearances. He's made it to at least the 7th obstacle every time and still cannot clear stage 1. That is absolutely brutal. Now we have EZC Frenzy. Imagine trying to say that whilst you're drunk. Another newcomer. Let's see how he fares. 130 seconds and he is off for the sextuple steps. He's out already. That's a massive come down from the last 2 runs. Next up, we have another pink guy looking very nice. It's Team Taurus, the Brit that loves to send in application videos for some reason. This is his 3rd appearance. When we last saw him in Tournament 21, he went out at the warped wall. A nice improvement, having failed the jumping spider on his debut, and he believes this is the tournament he can break through to the 2nd stage. So let's find out if he can do it. As he goes quickly into the circle hammer, moving through nicely, moving pretty quickly at the minute, as he goes for the shortcut too early. Taurus is out on just the 2nd obstacle. Let's take a look at a replay again here. I think he was trying to go for the shortcut that we've seen from quite a few different competitors so far, but he went too early, didn't get a boost. Lucky that the kill barrier didn't actually kill him, to be honest. And he came up short of the dismount, and Taurus suffers a shock early exit. Who'd have seen that coming? Well, following on from that, we saw the return of Pixel Project, back today for his 9th appearance on the course. Last time we saw him was in Tournament 20. He went out early in that tournament, but did a little better today, getting to the half-pipe attack. Still yet to get a stage 1 clear for Pixel. Then we had Sam, who went out on the first jump. Lordy-doddy, who failed the 4th step on the sextuple steps. Motor managed to get a little further, but jumped way too late on the jumping spider. Garcilaso, who apparently has a YouTube channel, failed the circle hammer. And then we had Halo Forging, who, pretty interesting gamer tag, did really well going for the slow and steady approach, and it worked right up until he ran out of time climbing over the top of the slider jump. And all of that now means we can move on to our next competitor at the start line, a veteran making a rare one-off appearance on this course. Next up, we have the man formerly known as Red Apparition. This longtime fan of the show made his debut all the way back in Tournament 6, and on just his second appearance in Tournament 7, he made it to the second stage, where he went out on the vehicle ramps, finishing in second place in that tournament. He would compete in all of the final 4 Halo Reach tournaments, but since the days of Halo Reach, his appearances have been sporadic. His last 2 appearances have been in Tournament 12 on Halo 4 when he went out on just the 3rd obstacle, and his most recent appearance in Tournament 18, he competed under the gamer tag TMFKSBG Golf 69, very interesting gamer tag, when he went out on just the 2nd obstacle of Stage 1. Now he is back today with a new gamer tag, Sid is Dead, which is way easier to say than the gamer tag he had in Tournament 18. I'm not going to try and repeat it again, for fear of botching it again. But good old Sid, I just will always know him as Red, so I'm just going to call him Red. Red, it's great to see him here, when you think of the likes of back in the old days, Irish, Dom, Duster, these guys that were fans of the show that started competing on it, you have to throw Red Apparition in that category as well. And even though he was a one-hit wonder, that Stage 1 clear in Tournament 7, it's still one of the best one-off success stories, with the fact that he came in second place. Obviously, someone like Rog, as we saw in the last tournament, will tell you what a real breakout success is, but of course Rog is hoping that that is not a one-hit wonder in this tournament. But Red is now on the ball drop. He's a little all over the place. He took ages to get onto it. Was he nervous about it? He was right to be nervous. Red goes out on the ball drop. At least he did better than on his last appearance, beating the second obstacle, and it was great to see him. Hopefully, we'll see him back again soon in a not too distant tournament. But now we can move on to our 40th runner. Next up, we have the man known as Fricket. Longtime fans of the show will remember this guy, formerly with the gamer tag Adventure Nacho, when he made his debut all the way back in Tournament 12. Unfortunately, his first appearance did not go according to plan. He then didn't return until Tournament 15, where he looked a lot better, making it to the jump hang. He then took another break before returning for the landmark 20th tournament, where he went out on the pole maze. In the last tournament, he put in more practice than ever before, and it showed as he set himself a personal best, making it to the flying chute. Now he's back today, having put in even more practice, and he believes this is the tournament where he can finally break through to get his first Stage 1 clear 10 tournaments after he first competed. Fricket, what a competitor, what a career he's had so far. 10 tournaments ago he made his debut, and he's taken 2 separate gaps. Now, in this, the landmark 10-year anniversary tournament, he believes he could get his first Stage 1 clear. Let's see if he can do it as he goes quickly into the circle hammer. And he's moving very quickly through it as well. Zooming along. And out the other side. My god, he just beat that in about 15 seconds. And he didn't even use the shortcut. He is a man on a mission today. He said he'd put in the practice, and he is clearly showing it. Look how fast the ball's going, and he's got it in complete control. Now for the jumping spider. He runs down the right-hand side, cuts to the left on the trampoline, and makes it. This is a man who has clearly perfected his technique. But will it result in him getting what he wants? His first Stage 1 clear. Now for the half-pipe attack, he gets into that as well. It's caused a few problems for others. That half-pipe being a bit slippy right now for a few guys, but not for Fricket, as he goes for the warped wall. This caused him a few problems in the last tournament, but he gets up and in one here. Now for the slider jump, his last challenge. He goes into it, he quickly launches, and he falls out of the head slide. What? What has just happened? he fell out of the side of the head slide. He went too fast. It looked like he was going up the pole and then immediately going for the downhill head slides. And he just went too fast. I don't think I've ever seen anyone fall out of a head slide, certainly not like that. He was desperately trying to cling on, and then it just pulled him up and out and away, and all he could do was shoot the head slide in frustration, and frick it, such a promising run has come to an end, and he still cannot succeed. It's 40 attempts now, only one man through. The landmark 10-year anniversary tournament has gotten off to a tricky start for our competitors. Although for the second tournament in a row we have one clear out of the first 40 attempts, it's hard to look past the variety of failures we've seen so far. 6 different obstacles have taken out at least 5 or more competitors, including the new slider jump, where only one man out of 6 attempts has defeated it so far. That one man, though, was able to clear stage 1. Atlantic Champ put all his past failings behind him, and now he can look ahead to his first attempt on stage 2. And in the next episode, we will see more competitors looking to join Atlantic, including a veteran making a return from retirement, 2 big-name stars reaching landmark appearances on this course, and 1 true real-life ninja. That is all to come in the future, but for now, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this opening episode to Tournament 22. If you have, like, comment, and subscribe, and join us again next time to see how our next group of competitors fare. Until then, guys, I've been Hunting at 751, and we'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye, guys.